today marks the first day of the 2025 Sustainable Infrastructure Development Symposium taking place in Cape Town. The event brings together key stakeholders, experts and decision makers in the field of infrastructure development. And standing by is SABC News reporter Katlego Legodi to tell us more. Katlego, good morning. So this, of course, really pivotal in getting South Africa working again. We've heard so many times that this year government wants to see South Africa turned into a construction site. Talk to us about what's to be expected at the symposium.
A very good morning to you, Sakina, and to our viewers at home. You're right, that is the core message coming through from President Cyril Ramaphosa, even from the State of the Nation address, where he said the ambition is to turn South Africa into a construction site. So this is why you find us today in the Western Cape Town, whereby the symposium marks day one, whereby you see various of these role players coming into the mother city to all talk about infrastructure, but not just infrastructure, Sakina, sustainable infrastructure development. South Africa looking at ensuring that they do away with the impediments to the economy and the ambitious projects that have already been rolled out. This is an event that is the flagship of the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure, led of course by their entity Infrastructure South Africa. Yesterday was day zero and we saw them, Sakina, moving into the facilities. They were on the ground at one of the sites here, the wastewater treatment plant here in Cape Town, one of the projects that were earmarked from last year. And today we'll hear more about some of those projects that are in the pipeline and how then they are looking at integrating, as well as this morning you find us at a forums meeting whereby leaders from the continent will be meeting here to talk about infrastructure development. But I'm going to bring into the conversation now with us, Sakina, the acting CEO of Infrastructure South Africa, Mametsi, who'll just give us a sense of really day one. Yesterday was day zero, get it confused, but yesterday was day zero. We see you today marking day one, and you're starting it with this particular meeting here. But before we even go into the forums meeting, let's just talk about why we find ourselves here. The president saying that we need to ensure that it's all hands on deck, this being the first installment for the 7th administration of this symposium, and seemingly the ball is rolling. Welcome to the SABC.
Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting us to your show. Absolutely, we are delighted to be able to host the 6th SA, so the Sustainable Infrastructure Development Symposium of South Africa. And as you rightly said, this is the first CSA in the 7th administration. So what do we focus on? Firstly, it's a meeting that brings thought leaders in the infrastructure space, critical stakeholders from project owners to financing institutions, to thought leaders, to academia and so on, to share insights and best practices on the preparation and planning for infrastructure projects, financing of these projects, and providing technical assistance to implement these projects within time and on budget and within the right quality as per, like the terms of reference and the scope of the project. Now, you're quite right that yesterday we started off by going on site on one of the projects, over 300 projects that we have that we're overseeing as Infrastructure South Africa, from their development, facilitation and monitoring their implementation. So the Potsdam wastewater treatment plant that we went to yesterday is a 5.2 billion rand investment by the city of Cape Town, of course supported and facilitated by Infrastructure South Africa. And we monitor the progress of these projects on an ongoing basis. We have a massive portfolio of these high value, high impact infrastructure projects that we are monitoring and want to be showcasing the level of implementation of those projects in the symposium this year. We also are going to be announcing the future project pipeline. So the projects that Infrastructure South Africa currently is preparing and packaging to make sure that they are viable, they are bankable, they can attract financing from the private sector, they can attract funding from the National Treasury as well. So it's important that people see what is that future pipeline looking like, and the current pipeline that ISA is monitoring and monitoring its implementation or its rollout. Then we're also, as you know or aware, we're going to be issuing, or the president is going to be releasing the second edition of the construction book. These are projects that are already funded from a government perspective. So it's a government order book, if you want to call it that. What the significance of it is that, one, it's a central repository of all these projects that are going to go out to market. So construction companies, suppliers to the construction industry, they can then align their inventories, the skills, and whatever capacity that they have to be able to take advantage of those projects or to bid for those projects. And in the case that they win, as the bidders, successful bidders in terms of those construction projects, they are then able to roll out and implement and construct those assets on the ground. So this year, similar to last year, we have a little bit more projects that we are showcasing in this construction book, and the value of the construction book is also very high, and that information is going to be released tomorrow. We're also tomorrow, with the President's speech, we're also announcing the next set of projects that we are going to be supporting from Infrastructure South Africa to develop these projects, to prepare and package them such that they are bankable. Last year, we did launch those top 12 infrastructure projects. We're also going to be providing feedback on the level of progress on the preparation work that we're doing in relation to those projects.
All right, Mameti Masemola, thank you very much for giving us your time. Mameti coming through here as the acting CEO of Infrastructure South Africa, and you hear them saying that the ball is already rolling here. There are high-level talks. Here in the afternoon, we'll see them having a G20 meeting as well, in consolidating all of the efforts in ensuring as well that the rollout of this infrastructure is not shortchanged, but we see them bringing tangible difference in the communities here at home. Sakina, back to you in studio for now.
Thank you so much, Katlego Legodi out in Cape Town for us.